Jamie's preparing for a bicycle race. We've biked 240 miles, plus 310 miles, plus 320, plus some unknown amount in the 4th week, and our goal is to have an average of at least 280. So 4 times 280. And you don't even need to combine like terms or multiply things out, because there's the answer. So let's go through these one at a time. Negative 3 minus 5 is negative 8, which is not bigger than negative 7. 6 minus 5 is 1, which is bigger than negative 11. Negative 9 minus 5 is negative 14, which is not bigger than negative 11. For a problem like this, just plug them in and see which ones are true. And it turns out 3 of these are true statements. The only one that is not is A. Looking at this graph, the rise is 3, the run is 1, so the slope is 3. The intercept is here at 3. So y is less than or equal to 3x plus 3. Now this is written in standard form. So I'm looking and I see all the 3x's are positive, so I'm going to subtract y from both sides and subtract 3 from both sides. And this is what I get. Notice that the inequality is facing 3x minus y. So if I take the capacity minus the amount in 2000, I have 150,000 tons of space. And every year the amount of trash increased by 7,500 tons, so that's a linear relationship, 7,500 times y for a year. They want to know when it's at or above capacity. So that is when this is going to be greater than or equal to 150,000. Which, if you were to move this 175,000 over, like I already did, there's your answer. A cargo helicopter is delivering different size packages, and they have some criteria. So we could write this as 100x plus 120y, and it has to be at most 1100, and at least 10 total packages. So that's one way to write the inequalities. Now if we just tried plugging in different numbers here, this would be y, and we want it to be possible. Plug in these numbers for y. So if I plugged in a 6 here, this would have to be at least a 4. So then I'll plug them in here. 400 plus 720, that's overweight. So I think 5 is going to be the answer, but let's try it. 5 and 5, it's 500 plus 600. We're coming in at 1,000 pounds, which is less than the limit. Plan X, you get $1,000 plus 10% each week. Plan Y, you get $500 plus 20%. So when do Plan X earn more than Plan Y? So I'm going to plug in D for dollars, and I'm going to change the percents to 0.1 and 0.2, respectively. And if I move all the numbers to one side and the letters to the other, and then I multiply by 10, this is what I get. When D is less than 5,000, then Plan X make more. But if you sell more than that amount, Plan Y people make more. Wyoming State Senate had 30 elected members, and for a bill to pass, more than half must vote yes. So D is the Democrats voting yes, and R is the Republicans voting yes. So as long as the sum of those two is more than half, it can't be greater than or equal to, it has to be more than. The answer is A. So the coordinates of points A, B, and C are shown in the plane. For which of the following inequalities will each of the points be contained in the solution region? If we start at -2, and we have a negative slope, are all these points above that? Oh, that looks pretty good. If we start at the origin, and we have a negative slope, are all the points above that? I'm going to say no. If we start at 3, and have a slope of 1, Looks like that point is right on the line, and it's supposed to be below it. And if x has to be less than 3, again, this one is right on the line. So A is your answer. For what number of days x will the total cost of buying from store B, buying and renting from store B, be less than or equal to? So we have store B less than or equal to store A. So if I include the concrete mixer and the wheelbarrow together, I can solve this by moving the x's to the left and the numbers to the right. If I divide by 25, that is when x is less than or equal to 6. So tread depths at least 9 inches, that's D, is greater than or equal to 9. Riser height at least 5 inches, that's H, greater than or equal to 5. And then there's a riser tread formula. And we are trying to solve for H, it looks like. So on one end of the spectrum, H is at the minimum, which is 5. So we see 2 times 5 plus D is equal to 25. And at that point, D is 15. On the other end of the spectrum is when we have D is 9. So we see 2H plus 9 is equal to 25. So 2H is 16 and H is 8. So in that case, we had these different values. At the most 8, at the least 5.